Okay, at this point I'd like to talk to you about Obama and taxes. That's correct, folks. Now recently there have been what was called tea parties, and they're still going to take place from this point on for a while. Tea parties were designed to complain about taxes, not only current taxes but future taxes based on the overspending of the federal government. That's what the tea parties were all about. Now, I understand Democrats love overspending. I understand Democrats do. But they also know that they have to pay for that spending. And as a result, they create taxes. That's correct, folks. Now, a lot of the media people are going, oh yeah, well he's going to give a tax break to this group and give a tax break to that group. Well, that's lovely. But the end result is we're going to have higher taxes in one form or another because someone has to pay for all the bailouts. Someone's going to have to pay for that stimulus package. Someone's going to have to pay for that huge government budget that he's created. Someone's going to have to pay for that. Now, how do they pay for it? It may not be right now. We might be living high on the hog right now. We got the government credit card. We're charging it up to its maximum. And now we're going to be really happy. And the problem is, someone's going to have to pay that credit card when it's done. Now, when does that happen? Is it going to be next year or the year after? Is this a ticking time bomb for the election years so that it only really starts affecting the elections when they start actually having to crunch down on people and force them to pay high taxes? So, what's going to happen? Well, this is what's going to happen. He's going to tax the rich, and he defines rich as a set amount of money, over $150,000 or whatever the number is this week. It changes constantly. So, he defines that as rich. Well, first off, you have to understand that one, basic economics. The income one earns in different areas of the country differs on what you could call rich. For example, in some small towns, if I'm earning $50,000 a year, I'm rich. I can afford a very nice home in that community. I can afford a lot of things in that community because the standard of living is real low. But for $50,000 in the middle of D.C. or in the suburbs of D.C., that's not rich. That's not even close to rich. $100,000 isn't even close to rich. You know, so the definition of how much is rich is a fallacy in the first place. It's based on where you live. Secondly, when you tax the rich, the truly rich, the companies, etc., that have the large sums of money and have large operations and employ a lot of people, when you tax them, they have to come up with that money somewhere. Companies do not pay taxes themselves. They pass the cost of taxes on to their customers via the cost of their goods. So, when Obama raises their taxes by 50%, that means you are going to pay more at the store, okay? That means when you buy gas, it's going to cost more. When you buy groceries or the tennis shoes or whatever product you're buying, it's going to cost more. When you buy electricity, it's going to cost more. If you buy cable TV, it's going to cost more. Whatever service you're asking for is going to cost you more because that price will be passed on to you. Now, some free market stuff might mediate the price a little bit via competition, via companies taking a loss so they can gain further share in the market, whatever. But a temporary loss so they can gain for future share. But in the long run, it's going to cost you money because those companies have to pay their taxes out somewhere. Furthermore, the debt that the government has bought into is going to cost you in the sense that we have to pay it back. We have to pay China back these bonds they're buying. We have to pay back all these things. And if you don't pay them back and we just start printing the money, we're going to pay it in cost of goods again because that causes inflation. It makes the dollar worth less. And as a result, when you go to the store, you get less for your dollar. Hence inflation. So it's essentially a tax also. So yes, indeed, the Tea Parties did deal with taxes. And yes, indeed, Obama is going to increase your taxes because every policy he presented indicates so. Anyways, thank you very much and have yourself a good day. And God bless.